Welcome back. Speaker number 6, Flight Corporal KatelynBrowley. We'll have Cadet's Choice, topic of technology.
Bon retour à la compétition. Caporal de section KatelynBrowley nous parlera de sciences et technologies dans le choix du cadet.
Good afternoon, fellow cadets and judges. Today, I'd like to speak to you about electric vehicles. Have we thought this through? Elon Musk once said, "We will not stop until all cars on the road are electric." And I believe him. But I wonder, have we thought this through? Cleaner Energy of Canada said 80% of Canadians will be open to buying an electric vehicle, and 95% of those who have one are happy with it. But have we thought this through? Now let's go back in time, about 200 years ago, or 1832, when the very first electric vehicle was invented by a man named Robert Anderson. He was tinkering around in his garage in Scotland and invented the first electric vehicle. It was big and heavy and clunky, and you could not charge a battery. It was far from perfect, but he had a dream. And nowadays, his dream is our reality. But did we think this through? My aunt. She lives near Montreal and used to own an electric vehicle. She liked it because there was no gas, it was good for going to work, doing errands, and basically going anywhere within the city. But she recently traded it in for a hybrid, which is a gas and electric vehicle, because she found she could not go as far as she needed to in the winter without having to plug it in. She also found that if she wanted to go on a long road trip, for example, visit my grandparents in Toronto or me in Yellowknife, she either had to take a different gas vehicle or map out her entire trip based on where she could plug her vehicle. And anyone who has traveled through the north or to a small town knows that there are not enough charging stations out there, which is why the government is planning to have them installed everywhere, all across Canada. And this is going to cost hundreds of billions of dollars. Where is this money coming from? Here's the thing. The government is not ready for our country is not ready for what the government is planning to do. In the summer of 2003, the entire east coast of North America was affected. Depending on where you live, the power outage could have been as long as 4 days. This just shows that the infrastructure is not ready for this. If this happened before, who's to say this won't happen again when everyone starts using electric vehicles? So I asked, have we thought this through? I can think of 2 main reasons why switching completely to electric is a bad idea. For one, think of all the gas stations. There are at least 6 gas stations in Yellowknife. Imagine a big city like Toronto, Vancouver. They have way more than 6. Now think of all the people that work at those gas stations, like the people at the pump, the people at the counter, people that drive the gas to the gas stations, all out of work. Here's the thing. People like to eat. I mean, I sure do. And Canadian farmers grow food for the entire world. And all those farmers use at least one machine that involves gas. How will they afford it? And who's going to make the high-tech equipment they need? Some farmers barely make enough money as it is. By switching to electric equipment, farmers would have to completely buy all new farm equipment. I know quite a few farmers. I used to live in Saskatchewan, and I know quite a few farmers from Saskatchewan, and they work long days. They go out at, say, 6 in the morning and work a 14-hour day. Would the new and improved equipment be able to handle farmers' work schedules? And how long would it last until they must replace it? I'm sure if you asked a farmer what their opinion is on electric farming equipment, most would say it's a bad idea. So once again, I ask, have we thought this through? In Yellowknife, we have 3 charging stations for about 20,000 or so people, which isn't that many. And most small towns across the country don't have any charging stations. This doesn't meet the current government goal set on December 21st, 2022. The Federal Minister of Environment and Climate Change said by 2026, just 3 years in the future, 20% of vehicles manufactured will be zero emissions. And get this, 100% by 2035, just 15 years in the future. It's a great idea, but in my opinion, this is an unrealistic timeline because we have not thought this through. We haven't thought about how old the infrastructure in Canada is. We haven't thought about the farmers, about the truck drivers, how tiny towns in the middle of nowhere are going to get electric plug-in stations. The timeline that we have right now needs to be much longer. I predict that by 2045, 2050, we will have a much better handle on these issues. You remember Robert Anderson, who I was talking about at the beginning? He had a dream, and his dream has come true. But our country, our world is not ready for his dream to come true, at least not until people have truly thought this through. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant. Speaker number 7, please get ready.
Merci, Sergent Browley. Orateur numéro 7, prière de vous préparer.